Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it's Monday, time for a Facebook Live. Let's see if it's showing up on the screen. I guess it is, so we can get started. So I posted that we were going to use Notes and Totes today. This is a fun set. It can make cards, it can make 3D items. Plus you could just use the sentiments for other, cards if you want. You don't have to use the Notes and Totes dies. So there's quite a few dies with this one. It has, let's see, I think this is supposed to be like a newspaper, front page of a newspaper. I'm not real sure what it's for. This is for a pocket on your tote. This is for a scarf or a tag on your tote. The tote can have two different kinds of handles. So it can have this one that's kind of like a purse handle, and then this one that's more like a briefcase. It has a picket fence. All these pieces here will cut out a picket fence, wood looking, some sunglasses, a little tag, and then embellishments that go on the tote, and then a water bottle. And it has like lotion, I guess, sunscreen. This is the tote, this is the handle. This is the pieces that decorate your tote. That's the same little triangle that would go on your tote. A starfish. This can either be a water bottle or some sunscreen, and then a seashell. So we can use mix and match on these. So we're going to, I went ahead and cut the handles and the embellishments with its strawberry slush, just to save a little bit of die cutting. And then we're going to cut the tote from some DSP. And this is On the Go DSP. It's just a scrap piece of it. It kind of goes with strawberry slush, in my opinion. So we will run this through the cut and emboss machine. So I ran over to get these directions. I will put these up at the end so that if you want to write down, what we used and what measurements, you'll have this. All right, so we've got our tote here. And you'll see that it has all these crease lines for you to know, where to fold it. And then it has one for the bottom. Now you can make this a 3D tote, and I'll show you that at the end. Or you can just make it one that's going to go on the front of your card. So that's what we're going to do. So if you're going to put it on the front of the card, you can probably just trim this little tag off because you're not going to need it. And you will leave it if you do it for a 3D tote. Now we want to get of our bag a little dimension, so we're going to fold that there. Hey, Ann, it's one of my favorites right now too, because it's a little different and it can be used for so many different things. So we're going to give this a little dimension by just distressing the edge where our fold is. Kind of give it some shadows. And then we'll do the other side. Doesn't have to be very dark. See, it just gives it a little dimension. I'll do a little up here. We don't need to do the bottom because it's going to be covered up with the strawberry slush cardstock. All right, so we've got that done. We're going to put this to the side and we're going to work on our card. I'm going to have to move this since it's got ink on it. And I don't want ink on our card base. I don't think I'll need it back. We'll double check and see. So we have, let's put this here. We'll get this out of the way. Just an 8.5 by 5.5 card base, scored at 4 1/4. We'll go ahead and crease that real good. And I have some Pool Party that I ran through the So Swirly embossing folder. And that's going to be our sky. I don't need a piece quite this big, but we'll use it. It'll be fine. Now there's also an ocean embossing folder, I think, that you could probably use for sky. But I only have the swirly, so swirl is what we got. You can't own everything in the catalog, can you? Now I wanted some water, so since I was using this on the go, I think our water is going to be a greenish. And these little waves, I thought, well, we'll just trim those down so they look like waves. All we have to do is follow the line of our DSP. Gives it a little wavy look. There, that gives us our water. Now another piece of On the Go is not that one. Let's see. Oh, this is actually from the gallery gallery set. I can't, Beautiful Gallery or Gallery Designs. And it's the only piece I could find that kind of looked like sand. So that's what we're going to use. But we're going to tear it. And let's see, we want it to tear it this way so that the white doesn't show. If you tear it the other direction, you'll get white cardstock peeking through the core, not cardstock, DSP. Now there's our sand. We're going to stamp a little texture on it with pecan pie. And let's see, where's my little foam pad this time? Because these are photopolymer, so this is just a texture stamp. It's from the Notes and Totes. You could also just flick a blend marker to get some texture if you wanted to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this down so I'll know where to put the water. I hope it's the right size here. Looks kind of wide, doesn't it? But it's not. It's 5 1/4. And now we can slide that in there. The tote's going to be on top of it, so it doesn't really have to be glued down real tight. Just enough to be flat. So there's our card. That's our card base. So that's pretty cool. Close to being done. So now we have our tote. Let's go ahead and decorate it with what we've die cut. Here. Go ahead and poke these out. Hey, Rosalind, it's good to see you live, too. You know, our days are busy. We don't have to be live. I mean, when I go live, you could be doing laundry or something. You can just watch later on as you're on your own time. It's the good thing, except, you know, Facebook has changed the rules, so a video will only stay on Facebook for 30 days. So I do upload them to the YouTube channel before that happens, so you can always go back and watch the YouTube channel to catch up. Now we've folded all those pieces there. I'll fold that, we don't need that. Now this is going to go at the bottom of our tote bag, beach tote. We're going to call this a beach tote today. And we'll go ahead and glue that down. And again, I'm not going to glue the top edge because we're going to want to put the straps under there. If we can do that. Now we know this is going to go right there, and we want our straps to match that. So we're just going to lay that there and add our tombow. This almost would be one you could use the adhesive sheets for. Now let's see, we want it to be right about. You do have to kind of pay attention to this. Pull that up. So I'm going to pull that up and then slide it under there. I suppose you could do it the easy way and measure with a ruler, but we're not going to do that. Make it hard. You kind of eyeball that one. It looks pretty close. Let's see. That looks great. Now we can trim those off. And now we can put our handle on. I'm going to do that with a glue dot. I was wondering what kind of surgery Mark had. You guys been playing too much tennis, huh? Or, but I'm glad he's on the mend. As long as you go to rehab or, you know, PT, you'll be okay. I can't get that dot to stick. Oh, I can get it to stick to my finger. Let's try that again. Now, I did forget to mention, there's another little die. We didn't really look at it that close. Let me pull it out. So this is the die that would be like the label, saying, you know, it's a Ralph Lauren or, and then this whole thing looks like a fish. Is actually, you can put it on your handle to make it look dressy. To me, that's a little bit putsy, and I'm not going to do that, but I am going to cut out the little label here. So we'll run that through real quick. So if you need any little itty bitty fish, I think this thing looks like a fish. See how I cut it out? It looks like a little goldfish. Something like that. And now we'll put our label on the front. I put some glue on my silicone mat. And now our little bag is complete. Isn't that cute? And there's our little fish. So you would put that, you know, on your handle, but of course I would do it in a different color. It does dress your handle up a little bit, but it's not today for me. All right, so now we need to cut out our things to go in our bag. So here's our bag's going to go on there. We're going to do some lotion and a starfish, a shell, and we're going to call this a water bottle. So we've got several different colors here to do that. We're going to do the lotion with Azure Afternoon, and then the water bottle. And let's see if I even have that. This is going to be white. Let's see where my piece of scrap white is. I think that will work just fine. Now we need a piece of, I think I used the basic beige for that. So we'll run that through. Now to give this water bottle a top, I'm going to go ahead and run it through with the Azure Afternoon at the same time. So we'll get the lid to our water bottle. That just save a little bit of running through all at one time, and then we can run these through and we'll be ready. Now, if you only own the mini cut and emboss, I'm pretty sure all these pieces will go through the mini without any trouble. There's our little pieces. There's our, well, that seashell looks kind of pitiful. That piece wasn't wide enough, so we'll cut that out again with another. I probably slipped a little bit. We don't want that. We'll run that through with a larger piece here. I think that looks much better. Now, if we were layering, that was something, I could probably cover it up, but come on out. I think lots of times if you just drop these on your desk, they'll pop out from the die. Just depends on how tight your cut and emboss is. I need to put these back on the magnet sheet so we don't lose them. I'm pretty good at losing tiny things. I promise myself each time that I'm not going to buy dies that are little bitty. Now these are pushing it. They're kind of small, but they're not. Other than that one, they're not too tiny. And there's our lotion. Here's our water bottle. And see, I cut 2 at one time so that we can have the top be a different color. We're just gonna cut that right there. I don't know if you noticed that has a little hole in it to run a piece of string through or twine. So we're definitely going to do that. A little glue. There we go. So now we're ready to kind of put our little bag together. So I'm going to put it to like that angle. I'm going to use tear and tape on this only because if you wanted to put something inside the tote, you want it to be on there pretty snug. And I'm sure Tombow would work. We got tear and tape, so that's what we'll use. This looks like it might stick out, so we'll trim that off. Now these little tote bags, if you make them 3D, they'll hold they'll probably hold a couple of Dove, those little mini square Dove candies, or the little you know, Halloween treat size mini candies. the small peppermint patties, different things would fit in this. I'll put our lotion inside. Isn't that cute? You know, I did not put any, I wasn't thinking about bling, but I probably will end up putting some bling on this later. I'll have to look through and see what would look pretty with this. Now this shell, I want it to be a little fancier than just a white piece of a white shell. So we'll use this scrap. We're going to put a little, oh good grief, it stuck to my finger, Azure Afternoon on it. Give it a little color. I don't think seashells are all white. They could be just about any color. We'll put that on with a dimensional. I'm going to use a big one because you can see how it kind of pops, wants to swirl on you. So we want that dimensional to hold that part down for us. Of course, we're going to have to put some Wink of Stella on that seashell. Make it be sparkly. Here's our water bottle, lotion, whatever you want it to be. We're going to use some yellow twine. This is our new color, Timid Tiger. I like it. We'll run that through. It'll be nice to have 3 shades of yellow now. So we could do some little ombre or monochromatic cards. Can't seem to make that want to go in there. Let's try the other end. Maybe I need a needle threader. There we go. And we'll run that around there and tie it in a knot, and then we'll cut off all the extra. And then we'll put a dimensional under that to hold it in place. Now this card would be great if you were wanting to give a little gift to your teacher friends that are, you know, looking forward to having the summer off. They could go to the beach and have some me time with no children. So we're going to, this says relax. Does it say relax and enjoy? But we're only going to use the relax. So this is 1.5, and that's about 2 inches. You could do a 1.5 inch square. This one, actually, sometimes if you want to just use part of the stamp, you can ink it up with a marker. But this one actually has enough space between the X and the ampersand that I think you can just be real careful and only ink it up to get the word relax. We'll see how good we did. Not bad. And then we're going to slide that inside our basket. Our tote. Beach basket. Let that peek out. And then there is a stamp for the inside that says, "You earned it." I have to see. There we go. And we'll stamp that with the Azure Afternoon. And then I went ahead and, since I had this, we'll put that on the bottom to decorate the inside. You could add some more seashells on the inside. Another starfish. Whatever makes you happy. So there's our card. Came out kind of cute, didn't it? Great for an end of the year teacher card. You could put a little treat in there. You could put a gift card in there. All kinds of things. Now I'm going to show you another card that I made. I'm going to close up all this stamp set so it's out of the way. Kind of clean up our space so you can see everything. Now this one is going to go to a friend who is just finished up her first year of graduate school. And we thought, well, we'll send her a little treat. So there's some money I've rolled up. I had a hard time with that. I didn't want to tape it so I used a paper clip and then some repositionable tape. Seems to work pretty good. So she can treat herself. Says this time I did the relax and enjoy, you earned it. I didn't put anything on the inside yet. Now look at the cute sunglasses. And then the other water bottle. Different colors. There's the tag. Or scarf, I guess, that bandana. And then this is the other handle that you can use. And the picket fence. So I thought that came out cute. And then this is your 3D. If you want to put a treat in there, you could do that. And this is the pocket and the little leather embellishments. I don't go shopping for treats a whole lot, but I found this when we went to REI the other day, and that fits pretty good. It's a little big, but you can put a smaller treat in there, definitely. Now, let me show you how this works, because, you know, I was going to do the lazy way. I went online and thought, surely somebody's made a video of how to put this bag together. I couldn't find one, so we'll just do it ourselves. It's not hard. So you've got your crease lines. You want to go ahead and score them pretty good. Make it easier the better you score them. You're going to cut out 2 of these, and you can cut out 2 at the same time. Just put 2 pieces of paper on top of each other. And then you've got this little piece here. And we're not going to decorate this one or anything. We're just going to see how you put it together. Now, I'll try to show you this. I don't know that the camera will pick it up, but this little flap here, do you see it has crease marks for those edges? Those little flaps that, so you want to go ahead and do those, and then you want to do that one. And that's important because when you put your bag together, you don't want a hole. It's going to cover up that hole when you put it together. So look realistic, I guess. Or a piece of paper. Alrighty. Now again, I think using either Tombow or Tear and Tape works the best for, especially for 3D items. Cut that extra off. Well, thanks, Anne. You share your cards. I want to see what you've been making with this set. Or if you've been making 3D items, that's fine too. This would be great if you like to have people over for tea or coffee, and you could do a little party favor with these, and they would think you were pretty smart. So now you're going to take these 2 flaps and match them up. Make sure you've got it folded so that the stitches are on the outside. And all we have to do there is see, you got to be paying attention, don't you? Line that up. Oh, there. I think that's... Then we'll come over and fold it to this side. This Take-A-Pick tool is great for picking up the backing on your Tear and Tape. Some people use it to take their dimensional backs off, but I have not perfected that yet. This one you have to be able to see. I don't want my head to get in the front under the camera there. There we go. Now we've got our 3D, but we need to put the bottom on. So what you need to do is go ahead and make sure your little flaps are down on the inside there. So that way, you see it'll cover up that space. And then this one you'll have to, you know, kind of work around getting it in there. But if you've creased those pretty tight, you can do that. I think we'll use the tweezers to hold that nice and tight and get down in there. I'll reach up in here and get it. To me, that's the hardest part, are these little flaps. There we go. Now we need to put some Tombow in there. So we'll do that with our little trick where we use a piece of scrap paper to do that. I'll put some Tombow on here. Ooh, that's a little too much, isn't it? Scrape that a little bit. And then we'll just slide that under there and pick it up. Go ahead and hold that. And now you're ready to decorate your tote. Now you can also make it be like this and it will hold, I think it'll hold a gift card. Let's see. It's my parking card. Yep, it'll hold a gift card. Or you can have it be the 3D this way. And it'll still hold a gift card and some candy. Now you'll want to decorate it, put your handle on it, you know, certainly make it fancier than this one. So I hope that gives you some helpful hints on how to get that put together. So let's see what we've got. We've got our, I think I'll probably have to put a glue dot there to hold that in place, won't I? Our money card, our little 3D card, and then the card we made today. So that needs some glue. Lots of fun things you can do with this Notes and Totes. I hope you enjoyed this today, and I will see you next time. Bye.